I remember the exact turning point in my life that really kind of shifted me onto a different path. I received a gift from a patient. So a patient of mine, I was in my early 20s and I would always talk to my patients. I worked in an infusion suite. So, these patients were chronically ill. So they would be there for every 6 or 8 weeks. And I was there for 7 years. So, I would see these people once a month, right? And you really get to know them. And it's the same people coming over and over. So I knew about their lives. They knew what was going on in mine. And I used to always talk about how unlucky I was. I was like, yeah, I'm just so unlucky. Like weird things happen to me, like just stuff that doesn't happen to other people happens to me. If there's like a possibility for something weird or bad to happen, like for sure it's going to happen to me. I was telling one of my patients about this and talking about something that was happening in my life at that time. And she was like, oh, I have a gift for you. I have a book for you that I think will really help you. She was like, have you ever considered that maybe it's you that is bringing this negativity into your own life? Oh. And at first I was offended. I was like, what?
Girl, this bitch.
No. Yeah, I was like, what is she talking about? I was like, no, like, I feel like I'm a good person. I don't deserve this shit. Like, why would I bring this
ego,
negative things into my life,
Like your ego alarm's going off. It's like, ding, 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 ding,
big
ding,
time,
you
big
won the
time.
fucking ego jackpot,
and I was like,
Jen.
so I'm like a little offended, and I'm young. I'm in my 20s and I didn't know shit.
Oh,
so,
yeah, of course.
The next time she comes in, she brings me this book and she was like, I want you to read this and, tell me what you think. So, of course, she brought me the Spiritual Training Wheels, The Secret.
She's like the Mr. Miyagi of their spiritual world.
Yeah,
did she make you wash your car and wax the fence and all that whole thing?
No, she didn't. But she did other things. We'll get into that in another podcast, but she was just really cool. Such a cool, interesting lady. Yeah, so I read the book and I started implementing some of the practices, and surprise, surprise, my quote unquote luck started to turn around. The lesson that I kind of took from that is luck is for losers. It's not about luck. Like when you have the universe on your side, you don't need luck. That was kind of the turning point. That is like where I learned how to manifest, and where I learned, because I started to see the change in my own life. And it took those teachings from that book and really did like a deep dive and an evaluation of like, maybe she's right. Like maybe it is me. And then I realized that it was 100% me.
Yeah.
I was wallowing in my own suffering and creating my own suffering. And that goes back to what I said earlier, like we can manifest suffering just as quickly as we can manifest happiness.
Yeah. And it's crazy when you realize that you have control. And I think maybe that's a part of enlightenment too. Mm-hmm. The second it hits you, you realize like, holy shit, I have a lot more power than I think. And then once you realize that you have more power, you are actually in the sort of driver's seat of being God, right? You are tapped into the creative force of God when you realize how magnificently powerful you are. You can create your own world to be as beautiful as you like, but you could also create your world to be as miserable and as divisive as you want to. And that just shows you how 100%. Compassionate I think God is, because he lets you do whatever the fuck you want, but you have to be responsible with it.